Welcome back to The Explainer. I am so pumped you're here today because we are diving headfirst into a really fascinating spiritual paradox. You know, living in this hyper-connected world, we're constantly told to be open, right? To be completely transparent, to share every single detail of our journey. But what if I told you there's actually this undeniable, profound power in just keeping your mouth shut? Today, we're unpacking the concept of holy silence, and we're going to break down 5 specific secrets our sources say you really need to guard.
So what are the secrets God commands you to keep? I know, it feels a bit counterintuitive. We'd love to share. But the source material highlights a crucial insight here. There are specific times when speaking out actually invites spiritual warfare. It invites destruction. Literally, the moment you speak certain sacred truths, you're opening a door. And if you swing that door open way too early or to the wrong crowd, you're inviting interference. So let's look at exactly what these 5 secrets are.
All right, let's jump straight into secret number 1. The danger of oversharing.
A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. Look, when you get a new vision or some private divine revelation, the temptation to broadcast it is huge. You want that validation. You want people hyping you up. But the text makes it clear divine plans usually aren't meant for public discussion. They are for private preparation. This proverb really hits the nail on the head. You see, the enemy, that opposition to your spiritual growth, is always listening for clues. He's studying your patterns and looking for open doors. So when you vent all your feelings or spill the beans on a brand new vision too early, you're practically handing over the blueprint of your future. You're inviting doubt and messy opinions into a space that was supposed to be completely secure. Okay, so how do we actually handle this? The source gives us a really solid, actionable framework here. Step 1, don't denounce it, prepare. Step 2, don't explain yourself, just obey. And step 3, move quietly. You really don't need external validation for something that was already confirmed internally or divinely. The idea is to pray deeply, do the heavy lifting in the background, and let your eventual results preach way louder than your initial words ever could.
Some divine instructions are like seeds. If you dig them up too soon, they'll never grow. I absolutely love this visual. Think about how a seed actually works. It literally needs the dark, quiet isolation of the dirt to germinate. If you keep digging it up just to show everyone how it's doing, you're going to kill it. Private revelation is treated like sacred currency here. It loses its absolute purity the second it's exposed to the wrong atmosphere. Some words are just meant exclusively for you.
And this table brilliantly illustrates how this concept plays out historically. Just look at these examples. Joseph shared his dream way too early, and it exposed his brother's stagnation, which stirred up terrible envy. Then you have Mary. When she was told she'd carry the Son of God, she didn't run to the town square to prove it, right? She pondered it in her heart. She preserved its purity. And finally, the wise men. They were specifically warned to keep the baby's location a secret to protect him from hostile leaders. These aren't just old stories. They're literal mini-narratives showing how spiritual protection is achieved through silence.
Moving right along to secret number 2, sacrifices done in secret.
We're looking at human applause versus heaven's approval. Because let's face it, we live in a world completely obsessed with attention. The modern mindset is basically, if you do a good deed and don't post it online, did it even happen? But spiritually speaking, our sources warn that this is a massive trap. When you seek attention for a good deed, the reward instantly shifts. Sure, you might get the applause, the likes, the comments, the pats on the back, but you lose the deeper blessing. The moment you trade sincerity for recognition, you're swapping a spiritual reward for a super temporary earthly reputation. God doesn't need you to prove your goodness to the internet, you know?
But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. This quote from Matthew summarizes the theological concept perfectly. When you give, keep it hidden. Why? Because those unseen victories, your private tears, the unpublicized fasting, your secret generosity, those are the things that echo the loudest in heaven. The advice here is straightforward. Give silently, pray privately, love humbly. When you hide your sacrifices, the ultimate results will eventually be impossible for the world to ignore anyway.
All right, let's shift gears a bit for secret number 3, wound still in healing.
Let's slow down for a second because this is a really profound juxtaposition. Notice the massive difference here between a wound and a testimony. A wound is what you protect while the healing work is still happening. A testimony, that's what you share only after the healing is complete. So many of us desperately open up our fresh wounds to the wrong ears, just hoping for a little comfort. But the text warns that by doing that, you might just be handing the enemy live ammunition. Let's be real, not everyone listening to your pain actually cares. Some folks are just collecting information.
Exposing a wound too early can easily reopen the exact thing you're trying to heal. Because of that, your vulnerability is literal holy ground. So who actually gets to see it? The source lays out a pretty strict guideline for who belongs in your inner circle of transparency while you're in the middle of a battle. Number 1, spirit-led individuals. Number 2, people specifically anointed or equipped to handle heavy burdens. And number 3, a very tight inner circle. Think about it, even Jesus had the crowds, the 12 disciples, and then a tiny, super close inner circle of just 3. You simply do not owe everyone your total transparency while you're still bleeding.
Okay, moving on to secret number 4, shielding your new blessings.
God's favor is like fresh oil. It must be covered until it's ready to pour. Let's say you finally get that breakthrough, the job, the relationship, whatever peace you've been praying for. Naturally, you want to shout it from the rooftops. But look at this metaphor of fresh oil. Have you ever noticed how sometimes, right after you announce a massive blessing, things suddenly get incredibly hard? Well, the text suggests that's often because you exposed it too early. Not everyone celebrating with you publicly is actually rooting for you privately. If the enemy can't steal your faith, they'll try to steal your focus by turning your fragile new blessing into a target. So fresh oil has to be covered. Celebrate it privately with gratitude before you get loud about it with the rest of the world.
And finally, we arrive at secret number 5, stewardship through holy silence.
Spiritual stewardship, the act of protecting what is holy to create space for multiplication. This is where we need to completely pivot our perspective. Everything we've talked about so far might make this silence feel almost like a punishment, or maybe some kind of fear-based superstition, but the source material totally flips that narrative. Guarding these secrets isn't about fear at all. It's an incredibly powerful tool called spiritual stewardship. Your dreams, your healing, your sacrifices, and your new blessings, they are sacred assignments. When you master holy silence, you're just protecting those assignments. The logic makes total sense. The enemy cannot attack what he doesn't know about. People can't curse what they can't see. Silence is literally the soil where your spiritual multiplication happens.
Is this for people's ears or for God's glory? I want to leave you with this final, really provocative thought to chew on. Before you draft that next post, or make that big announcement, or drop your next big dream into the group chat, just pause. Ask yourself, is this for people's ears, or is it for God's glory? Learning to move in silence allows the deepest truths to speak the loudest in your life. Stay discerning, guard your heart, and remember the immense power of knowing exactly when to just stay absolutely quiet.